Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. A few weeks ago, we reported to you that a group of dudes called 856 Entertainment went around New Jersey asking random chicks if they would rather have dinner with Soulja Boy or get $250 in food stamps. And a whole bunch of those women were like, give me the food stamps. Well now, 856 Entertainment is back at it, except this time they went around asking women if they would prefer to have dinner with Ray J or get a free Philly cheesesteak. And yes, you guessed it, most of the women were like, give me the cheesesteak. Check out what these chicks had to say.
One free Philly cheesesteak or dinner with Ray J.
Philly cheesesteak. Who the fuck is Ray J?
Philly cheesesteak. Philly cheesesteak.
One Philly cheesesteak. I'm sorry. Fuck Ray J.
I'm gonna take the cheesesteak.
Who the fuck is Ray J?
I'm gonna take that cheesesteak and head out.
Philly cheesesteak.
Bitch, give me a cheesesteak.
Who the fuck is Ray J?
I'm gonna take the cheesesteak. Get me the cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak got me fucked up.
All pepper ketchup on here, look like me.
Cheesesteak.
Well, is it from Iskaboos? Why not Ray J?
Cause he's ugly.
Listen, these chicks ain't right. I gotta tell you, the first time around when they were like dinner with Soulja Boy or $250 in food stamps, I would have definitely took the food stamps. But I think like this time around, I would not mind going to dinner with Ray J. I mean, not only does Ray J seem like a fun guy, but I know for a fact that Ray J has more tea to spill than Lipton's. Cause you gotta remember that Brandy's little brother has dated everybody from Lil' Kim to Whitney Houston. So you know, having dinner, a couple of drinks, and a convo with Ray J is gonna be anything but boring. Listen, let me know what you would do. Would you take the dinner with Ray J or would you go for that Philly cheesesteak? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, check it out. The other day, Jada Pinkett Smith's show, The Red Table Talk, got canceled because Facebook's parent company, Meta, says that it wants to focus more on virtual reality-related programming. Now, after the news dropped that the show got cut, some fans were upset. They were devastated. But others, like Nick Cannon, expressed pure joy that the show got the axe. When talking about the Red Table Talk, Nick said that Jada's show was toxic, and he also said, quote, if there was no Red Table Talk, then he wouldn't have slapped the ish out of Chris Rock. That was royalty Will and Jada, and then they brought it to the table. I don't want to know all of this ish about y'all, end quote. Nick went on to say, quote, I just want to mind my black-owned business. I don't want to be up in everybody else's kitchen. Keep that ish to yourselves, end quote. Listen, I agree with Nick Cannon because when Will and Jada had like the anonymity and everything about their relationship was strictly rumors, they did better than when they put all of their cards out on the table. I mean, for years I had been hearing, they got an open relationship, and that was just what it was. But then, when he sat up at that red table with the pouty face and he was almost near tears while she was talking about her entanglement, I was like, this is jacked up. And although I'm sure he's been getting a little something on the side too, I swear I felt so bad for Will in that moment. And I mean, I know he's a grown behind man who made his own decision to sit down at that red table, but I was like, oh geez, I'm feeling secondary embarrassment for this dude right now. But let me know what you think. Do you think that Nick Cannon is right? Did the road to the Oscars start at the red table? Now check it out. It's been a few months since basketball player Britney Griner was locked up in a Russian gulag, but now she's back on the b-ball court. And during her first press conference as a Phoenix Mercury player, Griner weighed in on whether or not transgender women should be able to compete against non-transgender women in sports. When asked about the legislation aimed at preventing transgender women from participating in women's sports, Griner said, quote, I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason, so I definitely will be speaking up against the legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed for sure. Everyone deserves a right to play, end quote. Griner went on to say that any other viewpoints are a threat to trans people because they prevent them from truly being who they are. Listen, I'm not trying to stop anybody from being who they are. However, I do think that when a trans woman plays sports against a non-trans woman, there's a potential for there to be an unfair advantage. Now, there are those chicks out there that can go toe-to-toe with the dudes. However, that is not the majority of women. So when you take someone who was in a male body, who had male muscle mass and everything that goes along with that, and you put them on the court with women, or you put them in the pool with women, they most likely have the upper hand. But with that being said, I do believe that everybody should have a chance to play. So I think that they should create something called the Choice League, where men and women, trans or not, can choose to compete against each other. And the trans women better not say that they don't want to compete against the men because the men have an unfair advantage. Listen, let me know what you think about Britney Griner saying that transgendered women should be able to participate in women's sports. Do you think that that's fair? Let me know in the comments. Now, in other news, Jack Harlow says that he's the hardest white boy to pick up the microphone since Eminem. I mean, if you say so, but I'd like to hear what Paul Wall, Bubba Sparks, and Mac Miller's fans would have to say about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Jack Harlow is the hardest white rapper to drop since Eminem? Now, check it out. A few months ago, a German security guard named Thomas Weidenmuller filed a $737,000 lawsuit against Nicki Minaj and her husband Kenneth Petty for battery because he alleges that Kenneth Petty punched him in the mouth and broke his jaw during the Nicki World Tour. Weidenmuller, who works for the German security company that provided security guards for Nicki while she was in Germany, claims that during one of the shows, a fan breached a barricade and was able to get up on stage while Nicki was performing. And although the fan was only on the stage for about 10 seconds, Nicki and her husband Kenneth Petty were not happy with the situation. Weidenmuller says that after the show, Nicki went off on the security staff and even made a female security officer cry after calling her a effing B. He says that despite the guard apologizing, Nicki Minaj decided to video record the woman and demanded that she tell Nicki's fans via the recording that the security guard failed to do her job and put Nicki Minaj in danger. Weidenmuller says that that's when he stepped in because he objected to Nicki trying to put this woman on blast. He says that after he was able to remove the female security guard from the situation, he turned around and tried to talk to Nicki and her husband, but they weren't trying to talk, and instead, Kenneth Petty cold-cocked him in the mouth. Weidenmuller says that after Petty assaulted him, he was unable to eat solid food for some time, and he also had to undergo 7 surgeries. As a result of this alleged assault and battery, Weidenmuller filed a lawsuit and has made several attempts to serve Nicki Minaj and her husband to no avail. So, due to the fact that Nicki and her husband Kenneth Petty have been unresponsive to his lawsuit, Weidenmuller has now demanded that the courts grant him a default judgment against Nicki Minaj and her husband. And so far, the judge has signed off on the default against Nicki, but he has yet to grant one against Petty. You know what I gotta say about that? All I gotta say is, you can take the chick out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the chick. And as far as I'm concerned, Kenneth Petty is petty, because that is not the way to handle that situation. I mean, doesn't the Hood Bible say there's a time to throw hands and a time not to throw hands? Listen, let me know what you think about Nicki Minaj and her husband Kenneth Petty being sued by Weidenmuller. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.